Let's start with this pretty 8-inch frame and some 10-inch mesh, a pretty center, and let me show you what we're going to create. So we're going to use a rotary cutter, some zip ties, and some elastics. So my frame is raised. However, you can use a regular flat frame from dollar store or whatever you purchase your frames. We're going to cut our mesh 10 inches, so it's going to be 10 by 10. So grab your mesh. I like to double it up, and I like to have my factory edge on my right hand. Put our mesh diamond shape, fold in one corner, overlap the other corner, find the center, and then I'm going to go about an inch below the center and put our elastic on it. Once you have done that, I'm going to take the longer part and fold it over the smaller one, leaving the headband on the back side. So we have this pretty poofed shape petal, and we are going to make ourselves a very pretty daisy. Now we're going to use some zip ties with the flat side up and insert the tail in it. Make sure you leave it open. And I made the same petal with a 21-inch mesh. And again, I like to double my mesh, especially for the light colors, so that I have a stronger color. And I'm going to start by inserting my longer petal with my zip tie and pull in. Now, we did start with an 8-inch frame. By the time we're done, this pretty daisy is going to be about 25 to 26 inches. Now, I'm taking the shorter petal and I'm putting it next to it, but not pulling the zip tie all the way. Making sure that the petals are all the same length is quite important. It makes a nice cohesive look. I'm going to put in another zip tie and insert our other longer petal in, making sure that the shorter one is overlapping the other two. And we are going to repeat that all the way around. One shorter. We're going to zip tie it in, always making sure that they are the same length, size, height, whatever you want to call it, so that it's a nice cohesive look, and it's a very beautiful three-dimensional look that you're going to get with these pretty petals. And zip tie them all the way around. Now again, you can use a flat frame. It's fine just as well. I had this one, so I wanted to use this one. Whenever you insert the shorter petal, make sure you don't pull the zip tie all the way until you place the other one, the larger one, below. And that's it. We're going to continue making the same petals all the way around. You can make them as tight or as loose as you want, so you can use more petals than I did and fill it up all pretty. And for the center, I'm going to start talking to you guys about the center. I used a pre-made center. I started with a smaller one. I ended up using a bigger one because we wanted to cover all the mechanics. If you don't have a larger center, then you can also do another row of smaller petals. That's just as fine. You don't have to use a pre-made center. You can also use a 6-inch or an 8-inch sign, maybe a welcome sign with daisies on it. That would be adorable. Anything that you want. You can make your own center. It's totally, entirely up to you. There's lots of options. The mesh, again, I used 21-inch and I use a 10-inch. And for each petal, I doubled my pieces. So my 21-inch by 21-inch square, I used 2, and I made the petal, folding it the same way as we folded the smaller petals. So here we go. We get to the end of this prettiness right here. And this could be so pretty in pink with a yellow center. in white, any color really. This will look very, very pretty. So there you go with the smaller center, but I didn't like to show. But again, you can make a smaller petal and make another row. And the petal will be made in the same exact manner. Now I'm going to show you how to make a leaf. I'm just cleaning up my mesh, and I'm going to use a 21-inch mesh. Again, cutting it 21 by 21. Factory edge on your right. Pull in 3 inches, scrunch all the way to the other side. You make a pretty little bow. We're going to turn it over, lift, fold over the other leaf, and we're going to zip tie it in the back of our pretty flower. And you could put in as many leaves as you want. I just wanted one, and I left one. So let me show you the larger center that we used. So this is the small 6-inch, and we just zip tie it on the bottom, but this is the larger 8-inch, which is also very, very pretty. So I ended up using the bigger one, and I am going to add a little ladybug. And I just love the 3-dimensional look of these petals. I love texture and volume. That's why I used 2 types of mesh. You can use poly burlap. You can use fabric mesh. You can use anything you want. Just remember that you want to make sure that your petals are giving you enough coverage and they're not too see-through. Okay? So there it is. Hope you enjoyed, and come back soon for more tutorials. Bye.